Alright. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. This is part 1 of the skins showcase. Today, I'm going to be showing the Crash Team Racing characters and their green skins. So starting with Crash Bandicoot himself. So he got green eyes by default there. So none of his exotics have any green, or the retro does not have any green at all. Oops. Okay, so there is like some green on the goggles for Scuba Crash, but it looks like a very teal color, kinda. Okay, there's a little bit of this teal green again for Electron Crash. Oops. Reindeer Crash has green lights here. Rustling Crash has green on the goggles. And some of the Aviator skins, with one of them having green, the arcade one specifically. However, this one has no green, neither does this one. I believe this Aviator is the only one that has green on it. Next up, Dr. Neo Cortex. So the only green skin I can think of when it comes to exotics is green Cortex. However, for the legendaries, on the other hand, the Rustling Cortex has green on the hat and the shoes. And the one only Robo Cortex that is green here is rusted. None of the other Robo Cortexes have green on it. Oh yeah, whoops, I kinda scrolled through that way too fast, my bad. Next up, Tiny Tiger.
Tiny, very cool.
He got green on the loincloth there. And I mean like by default. I'm trying to see if there's other green on him. Okay, so General Tiny has green. However, I'm not sure if we can say the same for the rest of his skins. Well, Gladiator Tiny has like the green loincloth bottom article on down there, like the normal Tiny. But for most of the others, oh, Rustling Tiny has a little bit of green somewhere, some places. And for the other General Tinies, they are not green like the default one. Next up, Coco Bandicoot.
As expected.
So, the only green I can see here is from Link's Coco when it comes to the exotics. And then, for the legendaries, there is some green on Beach Coco on the shirt, but it's like a very bright teal color. And there's some green on the pants for Mind Over Mutant Coco. I refuse to call this one Evil Coco because, like, I consider this one Evil Coco, guys. But it's kind of sad Dark Coco don't got any green. Elf Coco, on the other hand, does have green on the dress and shoes. And then Rustling Coco has green on the goggles. There's no green in Alice Coco. Okay, so next, Doctor and Jin.
Yes!
So, there is green shirt on Yellow Doctor and Jin, and by default, there is the green engine skin in the exotics there. For legendaries, however, there is no green on Ballerina or the Chef. But these skins, however, Crash Test Dummy and Jin, has green hair. There is a little bit of green on Farmer and Jin when you see the carrot top, and Rustlin and Jin has a little bit like of green hair, and there's like a olive-ish green color on the coat. Next up, Dingodile. So the kind of green I can see here is the tail. Now, I like how Toys for Bob has improved Dingodile's design by adding a back scaly part to attach to the tail. I think that's a very cool little detail they did. I like this design as well, as you can see. But let's check other skins to see if they got any green. Okay, there is green on Camo Dingodile's pants. So that's the only green I can see when it comes to exotics. Now let's go over to the legendaries. Hazmat Dingodile. There is green on his shoes. Beach Dingodile. He got a green waistline on his pants there, and he got the green tail again. And there's some green on his shades. Alright, Painter Dingodile. I believe the only thing that's green here is the tail with little bits of green on the outfit there, I think. Probably due to the paint. However, for most of the other skins he got, the only thing green about him is his tail, with the exception of Rustlin Dingodile, which makes him like 100% green, being like Crocodile there, with the tail being robotic this time. For the other Hazmat Dingodiles, there is no green at all, except for a little bit of it on Bug Hunt Hazmat. So, yeah. Next, we got Polar. Okay, so he don't got any green for the exotic skins, except for the eyes on Red Panda Polar, I think. And for the legendaries, Rustlin Polar has some green. And for the Fisherman recolors, there is camo green on Hunter Fisherman's skin. And there is some green on the rainbow part of his hat for Caring Fisherman Polar. Next, we have Purra. So, there is some green in the eyes for Black Cat Purra when it comes to his exotic skins. And now we go to the legendaries. There is a little bit of green on Sabertooth Purra. And I don't know if I can say the same about all the other legendaries. Nope. Sorry to say. Alright, next. Penta. So, for the regular and the exotics, there is no green whatsoever. However, for the legendaries, the green skins I can think about are Penta Gentleman and Lovebird Penta Ninja. Otherwise, all the Penta Ninja skins and regular do not have green, except for Lovebird. Alright, next. Ripperoo. I think the only skin I can think of that is green for him is green. just green Ripperoo. But again, I am glad that in Crash Team Rumble Toys for Bob improved the look of that. I don't know why, but I wasn't really a fan of the green and yellow skins of Ripperoo and Nitro-Fueled, and I'm glad Toys for Bob did it better, in my opinion. Okay, next up, Papu Papu. So he got a loincloth on the bottom there too. It's green. So let's check the exotics. There is green Papu Papu, and I have the legendary Pirate Papu Papu skin. Both of those are green, but the purple one does not have any green at all. Next up, one of my personal favorite characters on Crash Team Racing, Komodo Joe.
Yeah.
he is green by default, as you guys probably might already know. And the one exotic I can think about that has some green is this named skin. But I personally call it Yellow Komodo Joe, because personally I think that makes a lot of sense. And because Joe already is green as is. And let's check the other skins. Okay, so he wears a lot of green in Komodo Khan. And there's some accents of green in his wizard skin there. Now that is my very favorite legendary skin of Komodo Joe. Okay, next. Pinstripe. He got some green on his shirt by default. And let's check the other skins. There is no green on the exotics whatsoever. No Gangster Pinstripe by default is not green, and neither is this one. But for Outback Gangster Pinstripe, there is some, like, camo green here. And it's nowhere near as green as this. Shamrock Gangster Pinstripe. This is really fitting for St. Patrick's Day, I will say that. Alright, next up. Fake Crash. Speaking of green, I really like how Toys for Bob made his pants green, like to defer himself from Crash. Although it cannot be seen here, sadly. So, none of the exotics have any green, except for Pink Fake Crash. There's a little green on the rainbow pants here. Legendaries, however, the only green I can think of is Monster Fake Crash, it being the most green ever, and there is a little bit of green on Rustic Fake Crash when it comes to the shirt. So none of the monster recolors are green either, so let's just leave it at this regular here. Next up, Nitrous Oxide.
The trophy belongs to Gazmoxia.
So he has some green skin by default in his regular skin. For the exotics, however, only one I can say is green for sure. Watermelon, there is like really bright green here and there. So nice. For the legendaries, he has his green skin intact. For Hot Rod Nitrous Oxide, which I had unlocked about a year or two later after 5 years ago, since my last St. Patrick's Crash Team Racing video. And I'm glad I unlocked Hot Rod Oxide now. Okay, Metalhead. I remember doing a stream about this, and yeah, there's some green in it, because duh. And Shower Cap Nitrous Oxide. Quite a humorous skin, I will say so. And last but not least on part 1, Dr. Entropy.
Right on time.
There is some green in the clocks by default. And check the exotics. So the only exotic I can think of that has green is Purple Dr. Entropy. And for the legendaries, Digital does not have green, but Stone Age Dr. Entropy does have green. Alright, so tune in for Nitro Kart characters. That was part 1 where I reviewed the Crash Team Racing characters and their green skins.